Did you know that over 99% of seniors are deficient in at least one key vitamin their body desperately needs after 60? And at the very same time, 99% are also taking unprescribed supplements completely on their own. It's a deadly combination. On one side, the body is starving for what really matters. On the other, it's being flooded with pills that not only don't help, but can poison the heart, damage the liver, weaken bones, and even raise cancer risk. Take the case of Harold, 70 years old, who started taking a daily mega pack of vitamins from the pharmacy shelf. No prescription, no doctor's input. Within months, his energy collapsed, his blood pressure rose, and his memory declined. He wasn't suffering from aging, he was suffering from the wrong vitamins. And Harold is not alone. Studies show that high doses of popular supplements like vitamin E increase death risk by 17%, while excessive vitamin A can double fracture risk in seniors, yet millions keep swallowing them daily. The tragedy is simple. Almost every senior is both deficient in the right vitamins and overdosing on the wrong ones at the same time. And unless you know which to avoid and which to take, you're gambling with your health every single morning. But here's the good news. In this video, we'll expose the 4 worst vitamins you should never take after 60, and then reveal the 4 you must take daily to stay strong. Protect your brain and extend your independence. References are in the description below. Before we dive in, here's a quick question. Where are you watching from, and what's the one supplement you never skip? Drop it in the comments. I don't just glance. I read and reply to every single one because your experiences matter. Now, let's start with number 4 on the worst list. And trust me, this one will make you run to your bathroom cabinet immediately. Number 4. Vitamin A high-dose supplements. For decades, vitamin E supplements were marketed as miracle pills that could protect your heart, slow aging, and even prevent cancer. The logic sounded simple. Vitamin E is an antioxidant, and antioxidants fight the free radicals that damage cells. But here's the truth. The supplement industry doesn't want you to know when taken in high doses. Vitamin A doesn't protect you. It can actually do the opposite. A massive study published in the Journal of the American Medical Association followed over 133 probaced 000 people and found that those taking high-dose vitamin E had a 17% higher risk of death compared to those who didn't. Another trial, the SELECT study, Selenium and vitamin E cancer prevention trial, had to be stopped early because men taking vitamin E had a 17% increased risk of prostate cancer. Instead of extending life, this miracle antioxidant was cutting it short. The problem lies in how the body works. At normal levels from food like nuts, seeds, or leafy greens, vitamin E is beneficial. But when you flood your body with synthetic high-doses A capsules, it disrupts the delicate balance of oxidation and reduction that your cells depend on. Instead of neutralizing free radicals, excess vitamin E can promote oxidative stress, weaken immunity, and even thin the blood so much that it raises the risk of dangerous bleeding. George, a 69-year-old retired bus driver, was convinced vitamin E would keep him young. He took Catracent's International Unit daily, far above the recommended amount. Within months, he developed frequent nosebleeds and unexplained bruising. His doctor finally traced it back to his supplement. Once he stopped, the bleeding issues resolved. But the scare was enough for George to throw away the whole bottle. This is why experts now warn seniors, get your vitamin E from real food. Not pills. Almonds, sunflower seeds, and spinach will give you what you need, safely balanced with other nutrients. High-dose supplements are a gamble, and after 60, your body can't afford that risk. If vitamin A once hailed as a life extender, can backfire this badly. The next vitamin on the list is even more concerning because it hides inside many senior immune boost blends. Yet, research shows it can quietly damage your lungs and raise cancer risk. Number 3. Vitamin A. Retinol form. High dose. Vitamin A is essential. You need it for eyesight, immunity, and skin health. But here's the catch. When it comes in the form of retinol supplements, especially in high doses, it can turn from helpful to harmful very quickly. Unlike water-soluble vitamins that your body flushes out, vitamin A is fat-soluble, which means it builds up in your liver. For seniors, that accumulation can quietly become toxic. The science is clear. A study in the New England Journal of Medicine found that people taking more than 10,000 international units of retinol daily had a twofold increased risk of hip fractures. That's because too much vitamin A interferes with vitamin D and calcium, weakening bones instead of protecting them. Other research has linked high-dosage retinol to liver damage, dizziness, headaches, and even birth defects. Though for seniors, the biggest dangers are brittle bones and liver strain. Helen, a 74-year-old grandmother, had perfect vision and wanted to keep it that way. She began taking high-dosage vitamin pills she saw advertised online, but after a year, she broke her wrist from a minor fall, and her doctor was stunned at how fragile her bones had become. When they reviewed her supplements, the culprit was obvious. Too much retinol, weakening her skeleton from the inside out. This is why doctors recommend avoiding retinol supplements unless specifically prescribed for a deficiency. The safer alternative. Beta-carotene from foods like carrots, sweet potatoes, and leafy greens. Unlike retinol pills, beta-carotene is a precursor. Your body only converts what it needs, making overdose virtually impossible. Nature designed it that way, to protect you, and if vitamin A leak and crumble bones, the next vitamin is even more deceptive because it hides behind the idea of fighting colds. Yet studies show it can backfire and hurt your immune system when abused. But before we continue, if you have been enjoying the video so far, hit the like button and don't forget to subscribe and hit the bell icon so you don't miss more videos like this. Number 2. Iron unprescribed. Iron is critical for carrying oxygen in your blood. Without enough, if you feel weak, pale, and exhausted. But here's the shocking truth. For most seniors, taking iron without a doctor's order is not just unnecessary. It's dangerous. Unlike younger adults who may need extra iron, older adults often accumulate too much. Excess iron doesn't simply leave your body, it stores in organs like the liver, heart, and pancreas, slowly poisoning them over time. A study in the Journal of Gerontology found that seniors with elevated iron levels were at a 44% higher risk of heart disease and diabetes. Another report published in Circulation linked excess iron to increased oxidative stress, which accelerates aging, stiffens blood vessels, and fuels chronic inflammation. The very thing seniors are desperate to avoid. John, a 70-year-old retired accountant, started taking iron because he felt tired and assumed it would boost his energy. But after months of supplementation, his fatigue worsened. His blood pressure crept higher, and his doctor discovered abnormal liver enzymes. The problem wasn't anemia. It was iron overload from supplements he didn't actually need. Once he stopped and switched to a balanced diet, his energy gradually returned. The danger lies in self-diagnosis. Fatigue in seniors is rarely due to iron deficiency. It's more often linked to poor sleep, low B12, thyroid issues, or even medication side effects. By reaching for iron pills, many seniors are solving the wrong problem and creating new ones in the process. And because iron overload develops slowly, symptoms like joint pain, weakness, or heart palpitations are often dismissed as normal aging until serious damage has already occurred. And if iron can quietly poison the heart and liver, the number one worst vitamin is even more shocking because it's still one of the most aggressively marketed to seniors. Yet large-scale studies show it may actually raise the risk of cancer. Number 1. Vitamin B6. Excessiva dose. Vitamin B6 is one of those nutrients people assume is completely safe. It helps your body process protein, supports brain function, and plays a role in red blood cell formation. But here's the danger. When taken in excessive doses, especially from supplements, B6 can actually damage the very nerves it's supposed to protect. The National Institutes of Health, NIH, warns that long-term use of more than 100 milligrams of B6 per day can cause neuropathy, nerve damage that leads to tingling, burning sensations, and even loss of balance. For seniors who are already at higher risk of falls, this side effect can be devastating. And the worst part, because B6 is water-soluble, many assume the body will just flush it out. But in high doses, that's not true. The damage built slowly and silently. Take iron. A 8-year-old retired nurse who took daily energy support supplements loaded with B6. At first, she thought the mild tingling in her feet was poor circulation. But within months, she struggled to walk without holding on to furniture. Her doctor traced it back to chronic high-dose B6. Once she stopped, the progression slowed. But the nerve damage wasn't fully reversible. The problem is that supplement companies often dose B6 in energy blends, stress relief formulas, or multivitamins, selling the idea that more equals better. In reality, your body only needs about 5 to 2 milligs daily after 60. Tiny, compared to the hundreds of milligs stuffed into some pills. This makes B6 overdosing one of the most overlooked supplement dangers for older adults. Instead of boosting energy, it can strip independence by attacking nerves, and unlike fatigue or bloating, these symptoms aren't easy to reverse once they appear. So, while B6 and natural foods like bananas, chickpeas, and fish is both safe and necessary, swallowing huge amounts in pill form is a gamble you don't want to take. If excess B6 can literally rob seniors of mobility, then the good news is coming next. Because now we'll switch gears and uncover the 4 vitamins seniors over 60 must take daily to protect muscle, memory, and long-term independence. Number 4. Vitamin D3. If there's one vitamin almost every senior over 60 is missing, it's vitamin D3. Known as the sunshine vitamin, D3 is produced when sunlight hits your skin. But as you age, your skin loses its ability to make enough of it. Add in less outdoor activity, and sunscreen use and deficiency becomes nearly universal. The consequences: weak bones, higher fall risk, poor immunity, and even memory decline. A study in the Journal of the American Geriatric Society revealed that over 70% of adults over 65 have insufficient vitamin D levels. Another study in neurology found that seniors with low vitamin D were 53% more likely to develop dementia. It's not just about bone strength. It's about protecting the brain, muscles, and immune system. Consider Robert, a 73-year-old retired mechanic who kept breaking small bones in his wrist and hand from minor bumps. He thought he was just clumsy, but tests revealed critically low vitamin D. Once his doctor prescribed daily D3 supplements, his bones stabilized, his balance improved, and he finally had the confidence to walk without fear of falling. The reason D3 is so vital is that it works like a hormone, not just a nutrient. It helps your body absorb calcium for bone health. régulate immune défense against infections, and even supports muscle contraction, critical for staying mobile as you age. Without it, your body can't use the minerals you eat, no matter how much calcium or protein you consume. If D3 can keep bones strong and protect the brain, the next vitamin is just as important because without it, your nerves and blood can't function properly, leaving you weak, tired, and foggy, no matter how much you rest. Number 3. Vitamin B12. Vitamin B12 is one of the most overlooked vitamins for seniors. Yet, it may be the most essential for protecting independence. This powerhouse nutrient keeps your nerves firing, your blood healthy, and your memory sharp. The problem: after 60, your stomach produces less stomach acid, which is necessary to absorb B12 from food. That means even if you eat plenty of meat, fish, or eggs, your body may still struggle to use it. The numbers are shocking. Research in the Journal of the American Geriatric Society found that up to 43% of adults over 60 have some degree of B12 deficiency. The symptoms creep in slowly: fatigue, numbness in the hands or feet, poor balance, depression, and even memory problems. In fact, low B12 is often mistaken for dementia in older adults. But unlike dementia, it can be corrected if caught early. Take Maria, a 75-year-old retired teacher who began forgetting appointments and stumbling more often on her walks. Her family feared the worst: early Alzheimer's. But blood tests revealed severe B12 deficiency within months of starting B12 supplements. Her memory improved, her energy returned, and her walking steadied. She hadn't been losing her mind. She'd just been starved of a vitamin her body could no longer absorb properly. The beauty of B12 supplementation is that it's safe, affordable, and incredibly effective. Subliminal tablets, sprays, or injections bypass the stomach's declining acid levels and go directly into the bloodstream. Unlike some vitamins that build up to toxic levels, B12 is water-soluble, meaning your body eliminates what it doesn't need. That makes deficiency a far greater risk than overdose. Without B12, your red blood cells can't carry enough oxygen, your brain can't maintain clear signals, and your body slowly loses energy and coordination. For seniors, that means a higher risk of falls, fatigue, and cognitive decline. With it, the body stays sharp, strong, and resilient. If B12 keeps your brain firing and your body steady, the next vitamin is just as critical because it doesn't just protect your nerves. It strengthens your very DNA and may even guard against cancer. Number 2. Vitamin K2. When most people hear vitamin K, they think about blood clotting. But there's a second form, vitamin K2, that's far more important for seniors. And it's almost completely missing from the typical Western diet. K2 acts like a traffic cop for calcium, directing it into your bones and teeth where it belongs and away from arteries where it can cause deadly blockages. Without enough K2, calcium doesn't strengthen bones. It hardens blood vessels. A landmark study in the Journal of Nutrition followed over 4,800 adults and found that those with higher K2 intake had a 50% lower risk of arterial calcification and a 57% lower risk of dying from heart disease. For older adults, that's the difference between living independently and battling life-threatening cardiovascular problems. Eleanor, a 76-year-old widow, had always taken calcium pills for her bones, but still suffered from a hip fracture after a minor fall. Her doctor later explained that without K2, calcium wasn't being deposited properly. Once she added the daily K2 supplement, along with vitamin D, her bone density began to improve, and her arteries stayed clear on her next scan. she wished she had known years earlier. The truth is that K2 is found mainly in foods like natto, fermented soybeans, certain cheeses, and animal organs. Foods many seniors don't eat regularly. That's why deficiency is so common and so dangerous. Without K2, calcium supplements can actually backfire, increasing the risk of both fractures and clogged arteries. It's the missing link that ties bone health and heart health together, moat health, for seniors over 60. Combining K2 with vitamin D3 is especially powerful. D3 helps the body absorb calcium, and K2 ensures it gets used in the right places. Together, they strengthen bones while protecting blood vessels. A 1-2 punch against two of the biggest threats of aging. If K2 is the traffic cop that keeps calcium under control, the #1 vitamin on the must-take list is the ultimate shield for your cells, protecting DNA, boosting energy, and even lowering the risk of chronic disease. #1. Magnesium. Magnesium might be the most underrated vitamin-like mineral of all. Yet it controls over 300 critical reactions in the human body. It regulates muscle contractions, keeps your heart rhythm steady, supports bone density, and even calms the nervous system for better sleep. But here's the shocking truth. After 60, nearly 70% of adults are deficient in magnesium, according to the National Institutes of Health. And deficiency doesn't just make you tired. It can trigger cramps, high blood pressure, irregular heartbeat, and even increase the risk of diabetes. A study in the Journal of the American College of Nutrition found that seniors with the lowest magnesium intake were more than twice as likely to develop type 2 diabetes. Another study showed that adequate magnesium reduced the risk of stroke by 22%. For older adults trying to stay independent, those numbers are staggering. Take Frank, a 72-year-old retiree who struggled with painful nighttime leg cramps and restless sleep. He thought it was just old age. But when his doctor tested him, his magnesium was critically low. After adding a daily magnesium supplement and eating more leafy greens and nuts, his cramps eased, his blood pressure dropped, and he finally began sleeping through the night again. The danger is that magnesium deficiency often hides in plain sight. Symptoms like fatigue, irritability, or poor sleep are brushed off as normal aging, when in reality they're signs of a body starved of one of its most essential minerals. And since modern soil is depleted, even healthy diets often fail to provide enough. The best part, magnesium works hand in hand with the other must-take vitamins. It helps vitamin D activate, supports calcium balance, and keeps muscles and nerves firing smoothly. It's not just important, it's foundational. If there's one supplement seniors over 60 should never ignore, it's magnesium. Because when this single mineral is restored, energy, strength, and balance often return with it. And there you have it. The 4 worst vitamins you should never touch after 60, and the 4 you must take daily if you want to stay strong, sharp, and independent. The difference between harm and healing often comes down to what's sitting in your pill box. So, tell me in the comments which of these surprise you the most. And what vitamins are you taking right now? I read and reply to every single one, because your stories aren't just valuable. They guide future videos for this community. If this video helped you, hit that like button. Share it with a friend. And don't forget to subscribe, because the next video could be the one that saves you or someone